Hey guys, so today I'm going to be looking at more Am I Wrong stories. So yeah, let's just get right into the video. I was on the bus with my 5-year-old daughter when we got on at a busy stop. There were no empty seats available except for one near a person using a wheelchair. I asked the person if they could move the wheelchair to another spot so that my daughter and I could sit together, but the person declined, saying that they needed the space for the mobility device. I was taken aback and frustrated by this response. I explained to them that my daughter was very young and needed to sit next to me for safety reasons, but they still refused to move. I ended up having to stand for the entire ride with my daughter in tow, which was uncomfortable and tiring for both of us. When I told a friend about what happened, they said I was being insensitive and ableist. They pointed out that the person in the wheelchair had a right to the space they needed and that it was unfair of me to ask them to move. Now I'm questioning whether or not I was wrong for asking the person to move. Yes, you were. Why are you asking a person in a wheelchair to move their seats? Has this person never stood in a bus before? They are literally next to someone who's in a wheelchair and they're gonna complain about standing? What is wrong with them, dude? And they don't think they're wrong? They think typing this out on the internet, they're gonna prove to someone that they were right for doing it? How do they not know that what they're typing is just stupid? Like, they're like, oh my god, I had to stand next to someone who was sitting in a wheelchair. I'm so sad. Bro. These people need to wake up, man. I'm just mind blown that they can't even realize what they're typing. Alright, moving on. I am friends with a couple, Mike and Sandra, and invited them and their child Charlie over for dinner. Before they came over, I texted them to find out if any of them had any food sensitivities, allergies, needs, etc. The wife said there was nothing I needed to worry about. I decided on something a bit kid-friendly while still feeling like I was cooking for adults, so I settled on chicken parm with some chocolate cake for dessert. I figured it's like chicken nuggets mixed with pizza, which kids would like. It turned out really well for someone who's just started cooking like me. My friends were telling me that it was good, and maybe they were just being polite, but they ate everything. Charlie poked at a meal the entire time we were eating, and I'm not sure she ate any of it. After we were done, I brought out the chocolate cake. Charlie ate a tiny bite and immediately started bawling. Sandra asked her what was wrong, and she cried that she didn't like chocolate. Sandra continued to comfort her daughter while Mike and I awkwardly ate dessert. A couple of minutes passed and I noticed Sandra is glaring at me. I hesitantly asked her if I could help her with Charlie. I'm not good with kids, which she knows, but I wasn't sure what else to do. She huffed and asked, "Is there anything you'd like to say to Charlie?" It took me a second to realize that she wanted an apology for her kid not eating my food. I thought it might help cheer Charlie up at least, so I said I was sorry that she didn't like my food. Charlie started crying harder and her mum asked me if I had anything she would like instead. I drew the line there. I told her that I wasn't going to cook anything else and that if I didn't like what my mum made me as a kid, I went to bed hungry. Mike is just silently eating his cake while Sandra tried to convince me to make something else for Charlie to eat. I stood up from the table and asked Mike if he would like me to wrap up his cake for him to take home because the rest of the family was apparently not having a good time. I suggested that Sandra could go home and make something for Charlie to eat. Sandra scoffed at me and said something about how I was cooking tonight and she thought she could have taken the night off. I knew I was about to say something I really regretted, so I slammed my plate on the table and told her to get out. Mike seemed genuinely embarrassed as they left. I haven't spoken to any of them since, and now I'm thinking I overreacted by kicking them out of the house. I don't think this person was wrong. Why would they be wrong? Like, Sandra literally did not say anything about her kid not liking chocolate. And even if the kid didn't like chocolate, why is the kid acting so freaking spoiled? Crying just because they don't like chocolate at someone else's place. Come on, man. If I didn't like chocolate, then don't eat. Literally. Okay. It's not like Charlie was allergic to chocolate. They just didn't like chocolate. And now the mum wants them to make something else to eat. No. Why don't you buy your kid something back on the way then? Like, I'm sure the mum knows her kid is a picky eater because look at her kid poking around at the meal, man. Honestly, if that was me, I would have gotten told off because that's rude. You don't do that as a guest at someone else's place. You don't pick around your food. No. Alright, moving on. I live with my dad. My mum passed in a bad accident a couple of years ago. My dad met Josie in a grief group or something like that, and they got married last year. Josie has 2 kids, 8 years old and 6 years old, and I hate living with them, to be honest. The 8 years old has like really bad ADHD and is constantly accidentally breaking things, making messes, and has meltdowns over the smallest things. 6 years old is kind of similar but not quite as bad. They both get into my room and take things or break them. I babysat them once when our parents were dating, and I'd rather jump off a building than ever have to watch them again. Josie offered to pay me when they were dating, but I said no. Now that we all live together, she's been trying to make me deal with them more and more, usually while my dad's not home. My dad thinks I should bond with them more, but he said I don't have to babysit. Josie keeps trying to pull the just watch them for an hour while I go to the store, or loading me up with chores since I'm not watching the kids. I have chores that I do already, so it's not like I'm doing nothing. I just want some time to myself on the weekend. My dad doesn't see it happen, so he thinks I'm exaggerating. I have the smaller bedroom in the house we moved into, but I found out when I was putting stuff away that he has a hatch into like a side attic. Nobody else knows about it. I've started keeping stuff I don't want anyone else to get into in there, and it's big enough that I can spread out a blanket and some pillows and read or work on my laptop in peace. I had the idea to just go in there and avoid Josie when my dad's not home, and it worked. She called for me and came looking for me but couldn't find me. My dad texted me and asked where I was, and I told him in my room and dropped my phone location for him to see. Josie still couldn't find me, but I slipped out before my dad came home and was laying in my bed with a book when he got there. Josie got mad asking where I've been, and I said in my room. My dad showed her the location I sent when she said I was lying and snuck out. Now they're arguing because Josie insists I wasn't in the house, and my dad thinks she's lying and taking it out on me because I wouldn't babysit. I do feel a little bad now because I am making Josie look kinda nuts, but I also don't want to babysit or spend my entire Saturday doing chores. What the heck? Wow, that's pretty smart. That's good. Got her good. Oh, that's hilarious. Man. But yeah, I honestly don't think they're wrong, because that's not their kids to look after. Like, just because you have an eldest kid doesn't mean they become the parents of your own kids. So many parents think they have a kid, right? And the oldest one can take care of the younger siblings. But seriously? What about their spare time? What about their own childhood? They want some free time too, not become a parent at 16. Nah. That's not how you parent. No. Please don't make your eldest kid take care of your youngest kids. This is why so many eldest kids have problems, dude. They became parents at such a young age. It's just messing with their minds. It's not good for their mental health. If I were a shallow person, I would say I hit the jackpot. I 100% hit the jackpot, but not for any reason you might think. I met a young woman, Claire, through my sister last year. They went to college together and they are good friends. I thought that she was incredibly beautiful when I saw her, but I was trying my best not to be the creepy older brother hitting on his little sister's friends. We talked a little bit and I asked her about work since graduating. She gave me a weird look but told me about working in the medical field. I thought it was very interesting work from the sounds of it. After they left, my dad made fun of me for not asking her out. My sister called me last January out of the blue and said I was probably good to contact a friend and ask her out. She said she even put in a good word for me and that I was going to need it. So I started talking to Claire and we went out for lunch. She's very beautiful, like I said. She's also very smart and driven. She has a future all planned out. I jokingly said I was interested in being part of that future. She said my sister had already half convinced her I was a good idea. Oh, that's so cute. That's adorable. We had a few more dates and then we made it official. It's been over a year since our first date and my family loves her and my friends all think I fluked into the greatest relationship ever. Wow, thanks to the sister. Amazing sister, by the way. That's good. That's so nice of the sister, because I know a lot of siblings don't want their own siblings dating their friends. Like, that's a no-no. That just makes it weird because we're also afraid of losing our friends. Like, if something happens, they break up, then it's going to be awkward, you know? That's why we don't like it. But, you know, the sister, good on her. Anyways, the party. Whenever I talk about Claire, I mention her work. She studied child psychology and is working on a master's. See, smart. I love bragging all about how she's making the world a better place. At the party, my friend started joking around about her being able to make more money as a model or something. I told my friend he was being an ass talking about her looks and he should drop it. He did not. He even started making Beauty and the Beast comments. He was rude but never vulgar, just rude. He wouldn't drop it. He may have been a little jealous and drunk. She finally went on her phone and showed him some pictures of herself in a uniform from the job she does for fun. She's a cheerleader for a sports team. She then told him how little the job pays. She spent time explaining to him that she competed in cheer in college and it was a hard sport and that she only auditioned for the professional squad because they do a lot of work with children's charities. She said she was tired of people like him thinking all she had to offer was her looks. He got embarrassed and left. He called me up later and said I was an ass for not telling him I'm dating a cheerleader. I said I'm not. I'm dating Claire, a woman who's on her way to being a child psychologist. He said that I should have told him so he wouldn't have been an ass about her looks. I don't think it's my place to tell people. She doesn't tell everyone. So he's pissed at me for not telling him. He's upset with her for telling him so publicly. I think he was behaving like an ass and should have dropped it when I said so. Yeah. Why is he acting like the victim? Oh my god, you embarrassed me because I embarrassed myself. What is he talking about, this man? If I knew what she was doing, I wouldn't have made fun of her looks. Like, what? It doesn't matter what she's doing. You made fun of her looks because you wanted to make fun of her looks. Because she's so pretty. She's so beautiful. And he wanted to make her feel low about that. Men like that suck, you know? When someone is so beautiful and all they can say is, she's just got her looks. You don't even know anything about her. How are you going to say that? Honestly, good that she put him in his place. Because he was like, you can make so much money from your looks. And then she was like, but I'm not. I'm in a cheerleading squad. And I'm the leader and the prettiest, but I'm not making a lot. He just got played. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.